What's up, folks? Today I'm going to do a deep dive into the world of multipliers and kind of my history of use of multipliers over the years. Now, back in like 1994 is when I first started seeing these when I went into the Army, and I seen them in basic training, AIT, and it was probably around 95 or something when I first bought my first one myself. And they come a long way over the years, and I just thought I might go into that a little bit. Now this one, I think this one's the first one I actually ever owned. And some chemicals, when I worked in a factory, some chemicals locked this thing up. But, that's what's left of the knife blade. And I actually blew a piece out of a serrated blade I accidentally cut through an electrical cord with it, but yeah, so that was my original. And this back in them days, they didn't have locks. You couldn't lock the tools. And here was just a regular plier version, that not the needle nose, and one thing I learned, if you can flip it out that easy, you can put them back that easy too. Just a trick I learned over the years. And you just don't touch the sides and go downward and it flips in. So those are my original one. The first one I ever bought. I think somebody gave me that one. And a friend of mine gave me this after his 2003 deployment to Iraq. It's a SOG power lock. I think I actually carried this in my 2005 deployment in Iraq. But it's kind of cool because these gears, it's got kind of like gears that work together there. But these don't really have locks on the tools. Actually it does, I think. It does have a lock. So you have to push the button right there. Power lock. So it's been a while since I used it, but then Gerber started getting smarter and putting locks on them. And I think maybe some of these might have been military issue. I know this one was military issue for a while, maybe in some of the oldest cleaning kits. They had a feature, this head you could change out for the wire cutters or whatever. Yeah. But it had locks too. So, and I bought this one. This was the absolute worst one Gerber I ever bought. The Gerber Flick. I don't know if you can see it right here. This plastic right here broke. This head's like going off it just does not work at all. Very good. It don't close. Absolute worst one I ever bought was that one. Down here in my 2009 deployment, I ran across these Gerber freehands. I got this one from a PX. These were kind of expensive. I think it was I thought they was back in about 80 or 90 bucks. And so I got into this thing where you needed to have the knives on the outside, and it's just great to have them right like that. And here's a serrated blade. So I actually ground this one off. So it didn't matter, like in a defensive situation, it don't matter when I pull it out. My thumb's using a knife blade. I can slash or stab if I needed to. But so Gerber got that right, and it's still a great multiplier. Scissors still work. The only thing bad that ever happened to this one, this right here came out. That's what it looks like. But I lost this one. Like, you can't put a whole lot of pressure on this one no more because of that. But I mean, it still works. Everything else still works. But Gerber freehand, like I say, that's one of my favorites. After the Gerber freehand, I come across the Leatherman Surge. I think I got it at a government auction or government surplus store, and they done the same thing at Gerber. They put the thumb. So no matter when you pull it out of the case, no matter where you put your thumb, you're pulling out either a serrated blade or a straight blade. And so the Gerber, there was a couple tools on this broke when I bought it. I think this one right here actually. is broke. I know it is. So, and over time, I eventually broke the scissors on. Something happened to the scissors on this one, and they don't work right no more. But anyway, yeah, I like the Surge too. And then I bought this Gerber. I think he called it the Dual Force. It's got the slip joint pliers, which is kind of cool, especially if you're a mechanic. You know, lets you grab a hold of bigger bolts and everything. But now one of the things Gerber's doing right now is this center drive. This is really cool, really good. And one of the things I like about the center drive, it actually takes a regular, or I guess you call them 1/4-inch bits, unlike Leatherman, which means you have to buy their bits if you want to use it. Now, where they messed up a design on this one, so if you pull it out of the case and need to use it real quick, so you got this one blade at your thumb usage. Over here, you got this file with a chisel. So if you thought you ever had to use this in a defensive situation, you got to put it back in your case the same way every time. I don't really like that. They did put a saw on this one. Instead of a serrated blade, it's actually got a saw. And but there's not a lot. There's no other tools other than these four and the pliers. You got these things right here for the bits. Well, that's a bad example. You got that there for the bits, but other than that, it don't have a lot of tools on it. But I do, like I said, I'll say again, I do like the center drive, and that's about all I say I like about it really well. It's cool that they have one that's slip joint pliers now. So this is a Swiss Tech from Walmart. I want to compare it to the Leatherman Wave. It's a little bit bigger than the Wave. Now the Swiss Tech, they put just about, it has almost the exact same tools as the Wave does, and the Swiss Tech is about half of the price of the Wave. And you know, for one of the things they did do better than the Wave is I don't know if it's because I got bigger hands, but these slots right here are a lot easier to get my thumb in and open them up than the Wave. I can the Wave, but this is just a little bit easier for me. But anyway, so if you ain't got the money to buy a Wave and really want one, you might opt for the Swiss Tech. I'm actually carrying and using this right now. Don't have a lot of complaints, but when you get down here to these El Cheapos, just because Multiplier is cheap doesn't mean it's completely useless. You know, if you're somebody that has survival kits, or you know, you can keep them in the car for an emergency or something. But this is the Coleman one. You know, some of these cheaper ones people probably give you for like Christmas gifts or something. Like I say, it doesn't mean they're completely useless because you can keep them in survival kits and you got one. One of the cool things about this one is the fact you can actually take out both sides of it and use them as separate tools. So you'd have like two over here. So you'd have two tools here, and then you have your pliers. So that's actually kind of cool from Coleman. I don't even know if you can find these anymore, but it's got stuff there. This is the Ozark Trail one. It actually ain't too bad. The tools inside, you know, you get that at Walmart. Here's a little wild card, the Gerber dime. It's small enough you could almost use it on your keychain. I've never actually carried it for nothing, but I probably bought it for a mini survival kit or something, or a fishing kit. All right, so that's my deep dive into my multipliers over the years.